Okay, so let's see, this video is recorded here. Hello everyone, my name is Sandeevad and today here we are with a new problem which is maximum length of subarray with a positive product. So let me explain this problem, what is the problem, and then we will try to like we will see how we can solve it, okay? So let's come to the whiteboard and let me keep this. Okay. So this is the problem that we have. So the problem is maximum length of subarray with a positive product. Okay. It means we have given an array like this, which is 1, minus 2, minus 3, and 4. And we have to give the maximum length. Okay. With the help of which we can create the maximum product. What it means, let me explain more. So here one more thing, the thing is sub array. So what do you mean by sub array? So the sub array means the continuous part. Okay, continuous means we have to take in sequence. We can't take the elements like this, then ignore this, then take this. We can't do things like that. Okay, we have to take things in continuous form. So the problem says that we have to find the maximum length and that length having the maximum positive product. It means if we multiply 1, then minus 2, then minus 3, its product is equal to the 6, and the length or the elements we take to create this is 3, right? If we take this 3, which is minus 2 minus 3 into 4, it is it also have 3 length. And if we take this whole array, which is 1 into minus 2 minus 3 minus 4, so the product that we get is also positive, and the number of elements we take is 4. So the maximum length or maximum number of elements we take in order to create the positive product is the thing that we have to return. Okay, I think the thing should be clear. Okay, so let me explain the problem how we can solve it. Okay, let me take some array which is 1, 2, minus 3, 4, minus 5, 0, 6, minus 7. Okay, let me take any random array that we have, and what we have to find, let me write here. So what is the target that we have? The target is length which is maximum. Okay, and which length means maximum number, or we can define this maximum number of array element, maximum number of array elements 2. So maximum number of array elements to create positive product. Okay, so this is the another way to understand what is our target. Okay, now there are something which we have to think in order to solve this problem. Okay, what are those things? Let me explain. The thing is positive product. Okay, so let me tell you the properties of multiplication. Okay, the first property is if we have a positive value and if we multiply it with a positive value, we are getting a positive value, right? The second thing is if we have, sorry, if we have some negative value and we multiply it with a negative value again, it is again a positive value. Okay. So these are the two things that make our product to be positive. Okay, it means how many elements present in our array is positive and how many number of element present in our array is negative. Both are important for us in order to find the positive product. Okay, this thing should be clear. Think logically that you have to find the positive product, and you have two things. If there is a positive value, it becomes a positive. If there is a negative value, it also becomes a positive. So in order to find this, we have to take care of positive as well as negative counts. Like how many negative elements comes, how many positive elements come. Okay, I think this thing should be clear. Okay. Now let me explain the next part of the problem, next part of our approach. So this is clear that we have to find how many positive number of elements, okay, how many positive number of elements present in our array and how many negative number of elements present in our array. If we come to know this, like what are the positive and what are the negative counts, we can find our solution. How we can find our solution? Whatever the maximum number of positive count we have, that is our solution. Because you don't have to think how we manage the negative cases. We will talk about it. But the solution should be the count or the number of elements present in array which help us to create a positive product. Okay, and all those things should save there in the positive count. Okay, let me explain you more about it. Okay, let's suppose in our array there is only one element, right? Okay, and one more thing, you don't have to think like that we have to maximize our product. No, we don't have to think about product. We only have to think that the product should be positive and we have to maximize the length, not the product. Okay, so just don't think in that way. Think like we have to increase the positive count. Okay, now, so let's suppose in our array there is only one element. So what do you think? What is the, like we can check the element which is present in it is positive or negative, right now? So we will check this one. So we will check, okay, the positive count is 1 because the element which is present in it is positive. So it becomes, it means in our array there is one positive count. And if I am asking you how many negative elements present in this array, you say 0 because there is no element present in it, a negative element. And what is the target? Target is positive count, right? Because that positive number will create a positive multiplication, right? So in that case, the answer is 1. That is obvious, right? It means if we have array like, let me take a small array which is 1 minus 2 minus 3 or 4. 1 minus 2 minus 3 and 4. So let's suppose this is the array that we have. Okay, then for this, at this position we can say, when let me give the indexing 0 1 2 and 3. Okay, understand this. We can say that at position nums of 0 we have a positive count to be 1 and the negative count to be 0, because at that time we only have one positive value and there is no negative value. Now we reach to the next in that position. Now here there is a twist. Understand it. Okay. Now we check this minus 2 is less than 0. It means it is a negative value. Okay. Now can we say if from this position to this position we only have a positive values, and at this position we get some negative value. If we multiply all these resultant multiplication, okay, so whatever the multiplication result we have, if we multiplied this result with this negative value, can we say from this point to this point all these become the part of our negative count? Yes, obvious, because at that point whatever the elements before that becomes negative, and we can say all these elements are negative. Okay, so it means we can say at some position, like at some position like ith position, right? At some position ith we find a negative value. In that case the negative count is equal to what? Is equal to the whatever the positive count till that, okay, plus 1, because all these positive is when multiplied with some negative value it also become negative. That's why the negative count is increment. And what about the positive count? It is same. Think in logical way. Think like that. If from this position to this position we have a negative values, and at this position we are getting again a negative value, okay, so whatever the answer of this negative values, when this negative value is multiplied with this negative value we are actually getting some positive value. So we can say the positive count is equal to the negative count, not the updated negative count, but the negative count till that position plus 1. Okay, let me rub it. You have to think in that way because that is the thing, right? Okay, let me rub it as well, and let me tell you, I think it should be there, right? So it means at some position we are getting some negative value. Our negative count is becoming the positive count plus 1, and our positive count becoming the negative count plus 1. We also talk about some edge case, but till that you have a clarity. Okay, now we reach to this index and we will check. Okay, and we will check that nums of 2 is equal to the minus 3, which is also negative. In that case whatever the negative count we have, okay, so as you know now that the positive count is equal to the negative count plus 1, and this negative count is till that position what is the negative count. So first we store it in some another variable so that it is not change. Okay, for this updation you can understand it. So this is whatever the negative count till that position we have, and after that we can say the negative count is equal to the positive count plus 1, and the positive count is equal to the whatever the negative count, this negative count which is till that plus 1, I think. It is clear. Now let's come to the positive again. Here is again a very interesting thing comes. So nums of 3, which is I think 4, right? Yeah. So this is equal to the 4, and we are see that it is a positive value. Now understand similarly, let's suppose till that position you have some positive values and you are again getting a positive value. So we can simply say that whatever the positive count we have till that, just increment it by 1 if we are getting some positive value. So if it is a positive value and we again get a positive value, so we can simply increment it, right? Otherwise, okay, let me rub it. Otherwise, if from till this to this point we have a negative, and if at this position we are getting a positive value, what do you think what should be our negative count? So the negative count you can think of like that, that whatever the negative count present here, we simply have to add it by 1. So this is also a negative count plus 1. Okay, I think this part, whole part is clear. Like at different positions, what are the things that we have? Okay, I think that part is clear. Let me talk about some of the edge cases. So let me talk about some of the edge cases. Okay, let me do it. Right. Sorry. So let me talk about some of the edge cases. What are the edge cases? Okay. Let's suppose till this point to this point, till this point to this point, we have a negative value. Okay. Like we don't get any negative value. Let's suppose from this point to this point, there is zero negative value, right? And at that position, we are also getting a negative value. Till this point, we have no negative value encountered till yet. Okay. And now I get this negative value. What should you think? So you have zero negative values and you get one negative values, it becomes zero. In that case, whatever the negative count you have to make it zero. That is obvious, right? Okay. And this is obvious, right? And if let's suppose uh, you have no positive value and you are getting some positive value at this position, you can add plus 1 here. This is right. But if there is no negative value we get, and at some position we are getting some negative value, it actually don't help us to find our answer. Okay, and that is the whole logic actually, right? So we are storing our result. After every iteration we are storing our result, which is the maximum of whatever the positive count we have, because this is the thing, and whatever the result we have. I hope every part should be clear. At negative position what we have to do, at positive position what we have to do, and we have to take care of these edge cases as well. So let me talk about all this code. Simple. Okay, let me increment it. Sorry, increase the size. Hmm. Sorry. Okay. Hmm. So simple as that. If the first element present in our array is positive, right? So let me change the color. So if it is a positive, it is 1, otherwise it is 0. And whatever the answer is equal to the positive counter that we have. And similarly, if the first value is negative, we make it 1, otherwise it is 0. Now we are starting from the 1. Like whatever the elements we have, we are starting from the first index. Okay. So we will check for the positive condition. So if the number we have is positive, we simply increment the positive counter as we do, and we check if at this there is no negative counter we get, and we get a positive counter, we can't make a part of a negative counter because we don't get any negative counter and we are getting the positive counter. This positive counter should not increase our negative counter. Think in that way. Okay, let's suppose there is a, I will tell you, let's suppose there is 1, there is 2, there is 3, and you are getting -1 at this position. So at this position your negative counter remains 0 because this single negative value don't make any positive value. That's why we don't consider it. Okay, let me rub it. Okay, let me go more. Okay, so let me. Okay, I don't know what is the problem. Okay, I think this part is clear, the positive part. Now let's come to the negative part. In that, till that position, what is the negative counter we have? So we are getting, let's suppose till that, what if we have a positive, and till that if we have a negative. So we are getting some negative value, we are getting some negative value. Think in that way. So if there is a positive and there we get a negative, these two things help us to increase our negative counter. Similar, the negative counter is equal to the positive counter plus 1, right? And till that position, what is our negative counter? We store it in the tab. And if, let's suppose, before that there is no negative counter we encounter, no negative counter we encounter, we make it 0. Otherwise, whatever the negative counter, how many times the negative counter we have to increment it by 1. That part. Okay. And the else part, if we have a 0 value, in that case, whatever the result we are getting till that point, after multiplying with 0, everything get destroyed. That's why we are storing our answer in answer, such that we save our answer somewhere. And after every iteration, we get the maximum of positive counter and answer stored in our answer. And after this for loop, we are returning this answer. Let me submit the solution. Okay, sorry. So you can see the solution is working. I hope you get it, how it is working, and how we have to think about this. If you get it, please make sure you like it, comment it. Thank you, bye bye.